Hey guys, it's Mark with the Daily Hustle Show. I would love to piggyback on one of our most popular shows, which is Emotional Connection. I had a great time talking about emotional connection throughout a lot of the different speakers that we had on our show. We did indirectly talk about emotional connection. Um, how one of our insurance agents just is looking for a connection with another person when they're getting on the phone, just to understand them, make them smile, make her smile, right? That's an emotional connection. How we had a fitness guru get out there and get involved with fitness in her own town that she grew up in, and then how she branched out and how people are just attracted to just the fact that she's so motivated every single day creates the emotional effect. And then in return, you always want to be attached to that. Emotional connection can be exemplified in a lot of different ways, but I'm going to keep it very simple. Let's say you want a luxury designer bag. It doesn't matter what the brand is, but it's a designer bag, a very expensive bag. Okay. The first thing you do is think about that bag before you purchase it, right? You think about, how am I going to look with that bag? What am I going to wear with that bag? Where am I going to go with that bag? Who's going to see me with that bag? Those are all emotions. Okay. All of that is emotion. And you're trying to figure out, if I buy that bag, will I feel better, right? Will I look better? Will I have maybe better social status? Could I wear that bag when I go on vacation? Or if I go to this dinner next week, can I bring this bag with me? How will it make me feel? Those are all emotions. Okay. Now, that's a designer bag. Then you pay for it, right? And then after you pay for it, you'll logically figure out how you're going to afford it, right? It's the same thing about car salespeople, because what do? They put you in a car and they want you to establish an emotional connection with that vehicle, right? Let's just do a simple car. Let's do a Mustang, okay? A Ford Mustang. There's different levels of Mustangs and, Super Snakes and Bullets and all these different vehicles. But what does that car sales rep typically do? They put you in the car and they ask you these questions. How does the car feel? You look good in this car. This car is you. This car fits you. This car suits you. This is your car, right? They're emotionally connecting you to the vehicle. We'll talk about payments and logically justifying everything later on in another episode. But when it comes down to it, there is a clear and concise understanding that you need an emotional connection to that vehicle to purchase it. So we've done the bag example of the luxury bag. We've done the car example. There's another example. Let's say you're going to buy a house. How many times, if it's in your own life or on TV, you see people going to buy a house and they say, I can see myself raising a family here. Oh, this could be my office. This could be the master. This could be the nursery, right? They're creating this emotional connection to the house before they logically figure out how they're going to pay for it. Well, it's the same thing in sales, guys. It's the exact same thing. If you're selling a product, and it does not matter if you're selling a mouse, if you're selling phones, it doesn't matter what you're selling, okay? If you can create an emotional connection with that client regarding the product, okay, and you can connect it to yourself as well, from the company that you're representing and working for, you're going to be so successful. You probably do not even know where the limits are, probably because there isn't any limits. Okay, everybody has to establish an emotional connection. I'm going to give you two sales rep direct experiences, and I'm going to give you those as examples. So two sales rep experiences that I'm going to give you as examples. Sales rep one. So sales rep one is going to be the stereotypical salesperson. So sales tip, right? Sales rep one. So sales rep one is your stereotypical salesperson, right? That is the person that wants to sell you the highest amount of money worth of a product, right? It could be the car sales rep that wants to sell you that top of the line vehicle. He's not really listening to you talk. They're not really paying attention to what you really need. They're just paying attention to the fact that that's going to be an $80,000 car and their commission on that's going to be a lot higher. let's say you're selling windows, okay? And there's different triple pane, double pane, right? There's aluminum, there's plastic, there's metal, there's all these different kinds of, there's vinyl, there's different stages of windows. But this sales rep number one, this example number one, is the one that wants to give you the triple pane, the vinyl, whatever is the most expensive window, wants to give you the most expensive every single time. He or she is really not listening to you. He or she is just simply waiting for you to finish your sentence so they can continue pushing this product down your throat. There's no emotional connection there. They just want you to talk and talk and talk, and then they're going to do this. Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, how would you feel if I can get you a deal on this today? Right? To send like shivers, right, down your spine, right? Because we've all experienced that. We've all been in that position where they're not listening to you. They're not. What are they doing? They're waiting for you to just stop talking so they can sell their product and move on to the next client. Because the longer you're with them specifically, they're losing time. And when they're losing time, they're not able to sell another person, okay? Because they're stuck with you and they don't know if you're even going to buy yet. So their mentality is, if I see 10 people a week, let's say, and a whole house costs 30 grand, whatever, that's $300,000 worth of contracts every month. That's 1.2 million every single month when you look at every week, right? Well, if you're doing that, something isn't right. They're more focused on themselves getting a commission than helping you. So that's sales rep one, always trying to push the most expensive option, always waiting for you to finish conversating with them so they can continue to push their most expensive option. You are just a number to them. If they see 10 people a week and each house, let's say, is $30,000, that's $300K a week, $1.2 million a month of contracts that are out there, and they hope they get one or two of those. That's their mentality. Typically, they are horrible in the follow-up game. They're horrible on the phone. They're horrible with their emails, horrible with text messages. Typically, they bounce around to multiple companies throughout their career because that's the mentality. That's sales rep one. Sales rep two, night and day. Sales rep two, if we go back to those examples again about the car, sales rep two is going to sit you down and say, tell me what you're looking for. Okay, I want this, and this. Okay, perfect. And if you want this, and this, is maybe leather. Is that important to you? No, not really. Okay, is navigation, is that important to you? Yes, absolutely. I don't like to use my phone. I'd rather just put it right onto the main screen and do what I need to do. I feel a lot better with navigation. Okay, so navigation is important. Yeah, okay, perfect. So I'm going to write that down. All right, so right now it looks like the most important thing is navigation with the cars. I can tell you that all the cars on the lot, from the baseline model to the top line model, all have navigation. Okay, help me understand a little bit towards where you want to spend monthly. What are you looking at here? $400? Okay, so 400. As you guys can tell, I'm just making this up as I go. So $400 a month, perfect. That will be somewhere between the base model and the first three models. Let's say there's 8 models. 8 being the top of the line. You're going to be between 1 and 3. Models 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to be on the lower end. Is that okay? Well, let's say, I'm looking for this car would actually be really nice. I'm really looking forward to maybe driving that car. Okay, well, that car is going to put you in closer to the $500 a month monthly number. Is that something that you're comfortable with monthly? So going up $100 on your budget. Now, what I'm doing is qualifying. What I'm also doing is asking them questions about how do you feel about this? I'm helping them understand that this is going to be $100 more. I'm not bringing them into the most expensive car because they just told me they have a budget of $400. Maybe if I can squeak them up to $500, but that top of line model is a $1,500 a month vehicle. That's nowhere near the ballpark. But I'm asking them questions about what's important to them. Is this important? Is that important? Are you okay with the $500 a month monthly payment? Is that going to be okay, or is that just a heck no? I'm all set with that. I got to be $400. I'll go to $450, but that's it. Okay, then we can have a little bit of a discussion there, right? But that sales rep 2 is giving the opportunity to that client to understand that they have options. It does not have to be the $100,000 vehicle. It could be the $40,000 vehicle. Okay. Now that's the car sales rep that we just talked about. So we're trying to go car sales, and now we're going to go to windows like we did in the first example. So remember, sales rep one, all they cared about with the windows was listening to you. Yep. Okay, well, these are the windows you need. These are the ones right here. Triple pane, vinyl, whatever the most expensive is, that's what it is. Sales rep two is also selling windows. So you got this guy comes in at $30,000, top of the line, everything. Sales rep two comes in and says, so tell me a little bit about the house. Tell me a little bit about the age of the house. Tell me about the people that live here. Tell me about, all the windows in the house. If there are certain rooms that you really don't use, do you want to have a discussion about not even touching those windows to save you some money? Help me understand a little bit about what we're looking at. Then they'll start telling you, no, we want the whole house. If we're going to do it, we might as well just do the whole house. Okay, perfectly understand. Now, how many bedrooms are being used at all times every single day? 3 out of 3? Perfect, okay. Now, are you aware that there are different levels of windows? Maybe they'll say, yeah, I've heard of it, but I really don't know much. Okay, and then that sales rep will explain the different windows. And they'll tell them, each window would be about $700. Guys, by the way, I'm just making these numbers up. It's not what windows cost. I'm just making them up, sake of argument here. So what you're telling me is that if we go with basic windows, each window is going to cost, let's say, $600. I know I may have just said 7, but let's just say it's 600. $600 per window. Yes. Okay. Now, if we have $600 per window, we have 10 windows. So we're looking at roughly $6,000 for all 10 windows in this ranch home. Is that correct? Yes. Next level up, it's $800 a window, but you're now going to get this. Next level up is now going to be $1,000 a window, and you're going to get this. And your final level is $1,200 a window, and you're going to get this. I want you to know that you guys have options. Okay, we can do the whole house, half the house, 2 windows, 1 window. We can do the most expensive. We can go right smack dab in the middle. We can do basic. All I can tell you, and here it is right here. If you guys even want to use this and write this down, go right ahead. Here is a gold quote that I use all the time. Here it is right here. Even if you choose the least expensive window, if you want to call it the cheapest window, go right ahead. Just know that it's not cheap by quality, it's just the cheapest price. Okay, so the most least expensive option is still going to be an enormous upgrade to what you currently have in this house. So just know that if you want to keep the cost down and go with the least expensive option for the entire house, just know it's still going to be an enormous upgrade to your house. See what I just did there? I pointed, as sales rep 2, I pointed them to the lower cost option and educated them that you really don't need to do the most expensive, because even the cheapest option is still going to be a vast improvement to what they currently have. Now, can you tell the difference between sales rep 1 and sales rep 2? As we said, sales rep 1 is all about, yep, everything's bouncing off the brain, moving on. All they care about is, yeah, you done talking? Okay, good. It's $30,000. All right, so what do you want to do? No, you don't want to do it? All right, well, I got to go. I got other deals that I got to make. Yeah, no, you have other people that you're just going to talk to and hope for the best. Sales rep 2 comes in and asks questions, gives a variety of options, talks to them about the cheaper option, talks to them about the most expensive option, lets them know, honestly, look, not really going to notice much of a difference between the second option and the second to last option. So technically, if you want a lower price, we can technically go with the second option here, which is $800. I think I did $600, $800, $1,000, and $1,200. We can do the $800 option, and it's you're not going to notice the difference between that and the $1,000 option or the $1,200 option. Honestly, you're not going to. But I can tell you right now, anything is better than what you have right now. Do you see how I'm creating that emotional connection with this individual or these people that I'm talking to? I'm trying to save them money. I'm giving them other options, and I'm explaining everything, helping them understand that I'm here to help, right? I'm here to solve the problem. I'm emotionally connected with them, okay? Sales rep 1 doesn't do that. Sales rep 1 just sits there and just hopes for the best, right? And like I said, those are the typical sales reps that go from company to company, cannot stay put for too long because their tactics don't work, and they just refuse to help themselves out. It's actually kind of sad. So to wrap up this show, you know, there is a clear indication that emotional connection is important in all levels of sales. If you don't want to talk B2C, you want to talk B2B, you can still do the same thing when you're talking to executives and you're talking about companies, okay? The only thing is, instead of asking questions like, tell me about the house and tell me about the windows, because that's the option that we used, or tell me what you're looking for in a vehicle, you're going to say something like, and I'm making up this company, 123 Services. Making it up. So if someone listening to this owns 123 Services, free plug, right? So 123 Services. So you would say something along the lines of, hi, what did I say? Tom. Let's make up the name. Hey Tom, this is Mark with the Daily Hustle Show. Tell me a little bit about 123 Services. Tell me a little bit about how it works. Tell me a little bit about how the system operates as a whole for the entire company. Tell me what you like about it, and tell me what could be improved in your own opinion. You see how you're utilizing the same strategies of just asking questions, but you're just changing up the wording based on who you're speaking to. That's really all you need to do. So whether you're talking car sales, whether you're talking windows, or whether you're talking high-level executives, it's the same thing. Help me understand a little bit about your company. Help me understand why you like this car. Help me understand why you like these windows. Help me understand why you do not like this car. Help me understand why you do not like your current windows. Help me understand what you do not like about the company and what could be improved and how can we help. Okay, it's the same thing. You're just talking to a different person or a different entity, so to speak. That wraps up this show, because this show here was about emotional connection, and the next show we're going to go into understanding the true and tried concept of wanting and needing. That's really important, especially in sales, because there is a clear indication between wanting and needing something. And I'm going to tease it right here. We all want a Lamborghini, right? Or a McLaren, or a Maybach, right? Mercedes, right? Do we really need that? In reality, cars are 4 wheels and a steering wheel, right? So if you could get 4 wheels and a steering wheel for $200 a month, why would you get 4 wheels and a steering wheel for $4,000 a month? There's this clear indication of wanting and needing. And I know that there's social status and all these other things. We're going to go into the true and tried reasoning behind wanting and needing in the next show. Again, this is Mark with the Daily Hustle Show, along with Ardit. Ardit is just killing the real estate game right now. So I told him I would do more of this right now while he's doing his thing and crushing it up. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, because we're going to be releasing these videos all week long, and that's going to be a consistent thing. We already have multiple videos already published and ready to be released. We're just, every day they just get released on their own. So again, like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comment log in the bottom. Typically it'll be me that will answer them. Like I said, Ardit's just going crazy, selling his real estate and doing his thing. So he'll reply when he can, but typically it's probably going to be me. So seriously, like, subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. If there's things that you want to talk about, if there's certain aspects that you guys want me to discuss with you, please just put them in the comments. I'll filter through them, and I'll see which ones in general we will tackle. If not, I may just answer you right there in the comments. But if it's a pretty good topic that we should cover, I'll give you a little shout out in the video, and we will cover that topic with you. Thanks, guys.